Welcome to Daggers and Shadow Daddies.
We're your hosts, Ryan and Adriana. Close your legs and open your book. Let's get to reading.
Warning, this podcast contains explicit content.
It's about to get nasty.
It's all vibes and no facts.
Let's get to spoiling.
Wait, no, these are spoiler-free episodes.
Not the way I do it. They had a lot to accomplish in the last several chapters. They fucking breezed through it.
Breeze through the end? Well, that's I was going to share that I was wrong on so many things. This could not have been summed up any briefer than how it was. Like, by all means, it was flying
too brief
near the end.
Yeah.
But they had their whole journey back. I think that could have been cut just a touch, but no, all of this was necessary, and I was wrong on so many things.
I mean, I was pretty consistently wrong through most of the book.
Well, I was very, 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 very wrong about Jesper. But I am glad that she found love. I was glad that she lived, and I'm glad that she found love, which were two things that I really wanted.
Hold on, who did Jesper find to love?
Peter. He didn't die.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. You're right, I forgot about that.
I wouldn't be surprised if listening back, if every time that I heard Peter, I was like, all right, Peter's about to die, if there was actually some endearing moment happening between him and Jesper, and I was just completely missing it because I was set on he has to die.
So I don't think so. I forgot about this. This was one of the things I actually had a complaint about.
Oh, how so?
What the fuck? There was no tension at all between Jesper and Peter through the entire book.
I don't know. I thought that I was just blind to it, was my thought.
No, because you do insert gay into these things, which is great. But you do want characters to be gayer than they are. And I think that with Jesper, maybe you were a little clouded. But no, you didn't miss this with Peter.
Even after it became obvious in this last set, well, obvious to me, it's probably obvious to everyone else, but the romance was very subtle. It was things like he insisted that he carries her. He gave her a flower and whatnot. There were those types of details. It was small, but it was there. It was just, there are other heavier relationships that are going on. It was just subtle.
And in fairness, Peter wasn't really introduced until this last bit. He was present occasionally prior to that, but not in he wasn't a part of our primary cast.
I assumed that he was, and I just didn't take the time to learn his name until near the end. And that maybe he was here all along.
Okay, that could be. I don't think so. That totally could be the case. I don't think so. I think Peter was mentioned a couple of times.
Do you think he was in the first little heist of that iron card?
I don't think so. I don't think Peter was one of their primary people. Peter wasn't one of the trusted ones. He definitely didn't make it to the table where they all had to do the goblet thing. Peter was not super present for everything. I think he was, obviously, he existed.
Well, I was very, very wrong about him and Jesper, and also him surviving. And I was also very wrong about Emery surviving. I was wrong about how the nightmare wasn't going to be zombified. I was kind of hoping that he was, and that he could, I don't know, have a body. No, he never got a body. There was just so much wrong.
I can't even list all the things I was wrong about. There was so fucking many, but it was good.
Yeah, what do you think of the overall book?
I think it was good. I think it didn't end in a way that satisfied me because it seemed so rushed to tell a story. And we did this time skip thing toward the end, which annoyed me a little bit.
Oh, yeah, because you would go forward in one person's story, back up, and go forward in that story as it's all happening at the same time.
Yeah, you kind of skip ahead. Once the story ends, you have, so Elm's king, right? Ione's queen.
Yes.
Great. It takes months before the nightmare gives Raven an idea on how to get Elspeth back.
What? No, it's not. It was 2 days when he woke up from his injury.
He woke up, but there was something else with this where Raven's oh, you could have told me this months ago.
Right. He did say that. I thought that was funny. He's well, yeah, but I had unfinished business to do.
Which is fair, but I just had a moment where I'm God damn, why be so secretive?
Because he had unfinished business. He had revenge.
Yeah, but none of it had to be a secret.
He also said that he wasn't ready to say goodbye to Elspeth until everything was...
Which I think was so touching. To be fair, Elspeth in the Nightmares goodbye was touching. I really sincerely like that. I was just like, but goddamn, the nightmare had no reason to be so cryptic through the entire series.
I think he was very open and everyone was too dense to listen to him. He says that all the time. He's like, no, I've said this.
Well, no,
all
he
the details were
directly
there.
said I had an unfinished business, so I didn't tell you.
Oh, yeah, he didn't.
You hid this from me for 2 months, and he's like, yep.
Yeah, but at the same time, Emery was telling Raven the whole time that is they are descendants of the nightmare, whatever his name is, Taxus.
Yeah, the psychotic ramblings of a sick child.
Yeah, but he's been
Never
told.
does Taxus go, yes, correct.
And he also just assumed that he stumbled upon these cards, and then near the end, he's like, it was handed down to me, essentially, or whatever the right term is.
More or less, it's inherited.
Yeah, inherited. There we go. The signs were there. Raven just wasn't looking.
Yeah, okay, I don't think I would have put it together if I was Raven.
No,
Raven had never seen the other child. Like, to see the similarities, other than that, the only similarity is that the cards gradually quit working for him.
Well, he said that when he touched them, they felt so fragile. He's mentioned that when they quit working in his hand, it's like any other item.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, how would he know that the Nightmare's son had that same thing?
He doesn't need to know, but he could have known the whole time. He could have ripped it up.
He could have.
I'm just bantering with you.
I think I'm just looking at this going, the Nightmare was unnecessarily cryptic. And I understand that was to provide some intrigue for the reader.
No, I think...
But we kind of were aware of it the whole time.
No, I like that he was cryptic. I would not change any of that. I have no complaints about the Nightmare.
I do. He almost cost him everything.
What do you mean?
If Raven was slightly dumber when he was talking to the Spirit of the Wood, it didn't pick up on the name, it would have cost him everything, and all because the Nightmares were like, I don't need to share information with that dumb bird.
Well, he wouldn't know what the deal was going to be because he's never spoken to the Spirit of the Wood. He just mentioned, all I know is time moves differently here.
You think we should all just observe things through the lens of, I don't know what's necessary to tell you? That's absurd. I think I was let down because in her other book, The Gargoyle is such a flawless character.
But stop comparing it to that book. This is just this book. You can compare it to...
I am. I'm just explaining to you my point of reference.
I liked it. I liked all of this. I don't think I have any complaints with this series. If I have complaints, it was my own stupidity.
I think it was a great book. I liked both of these books.
So how do you feel about the ending?
It was rushed. It was fine, but it was rushed.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. The only thing that I thought was kind of funny is when Raven is in bed and everyone starts walking into the room and it's this magical moment. He's like, did you lift the mist? And he opens up the door and he sees the blue sky and more people are entering. It reminded me of the Lord of the Rings scene.
Didn't watch that movie enough. I kept falling asleep every time.
I think it's Frodo who's in bed and everyone just like walks in and then you have Legolas. Is that it?
I think it's Legolas. I have no idea. I think Legolas would be a funny name for a tall elf. Isn't that the elf guy?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Orlando Bloom. He walks in and
weirdly enough, easier. Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, it's the one name that he didn't know.
I think it ended well. I like the events that happened. I just think the book could have been 5 chapters longer.
Yeah, I think it could have been longer. I think I would have done a trade-off. I like the detail of them coming back from the Spirit of the Wood backwards. Like they go through all those same trails because we even made a joke of like oftentimes the way back is so much faster. I thought when he tapped the card that he was going to be back at the U Castle and we just skipped the whole way back. And I like that they came back through and that they ran into Ione and they ran into Peter and all of that.
We never did hear shit about what really happened with the aunt and the uncle during these times.
The aunt and the kids are still with that.
The Marauders.
Yeah.
Mist.
Yeah. The aunt and the kids are still over there because Ione mentioned that she ran into her mom. And her dad was with Elm and Eric, Elspeth's dad.
Right. I'm saying while they're going through their trials and whatnot, right? So
they were in jail.
The difference in the time of when they go to meet the Spirit of the Wood and when What's-His-Face comes out of, Raven comes out of that, there's a vast amount of time.
Yeah, like 24 days.
Correct. We don't know what the fuck happened in those 24 days with the mom and the brothers. And when they lift the woods, what are those people doing that live in the woods? That have magic that have been hiding from the kingdom this whole time?
There was a notice that Elm put out. he did a
I'll
notice.
cleanse you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that. I was just thinking, like, those people have magic. What happened to their magic when that happened?
They still can use their magic.
Because I thought their magic was a symptom of the mist.
I took it as you got infected, and then if you're removed from the mist, you're still infected. You still have that magic, but you also still have that degeneration. So like Elspeth and Raven at the end of this book, neither one of them tapped the shepherd card. So both of them are still infected. They both still have their magic.
Well, a lot of good Elspeth does if she doesn't touch any cards.
Well, that's kind of what he said, is that because of her magic that she has, this card will never work on her. She will just absorb everything before it would negate or cure her.
Sure.
And I kind of pictured that group of people out in the woods. The mist is gone. They still have their magic, but if they're degenerating, it's probably good to go into town, get some supplies, and tap that card to stop degenerating.
Okay. All right. I don't know. It feels like the end was full of plot holes for me.
What? I thought it was so good. I thought it tied up some loose ends. I thought it was like cute and cheesy. You got your wedding scene.
You're not wrong. The wedding scene was adorable. I like that there's this, the way Elm accepted being king, I think was perfect. And I think the way that they got rid of Hoth was great.
Yeah, Hoth is probably still alive out there.
And he was an actual villain right up through the end. He did his maniacal laugh and shit. Like he was, I think he was a good villain. But goddamn, the time that it went from I poisoned the king to everybody now accepts the guy that I said poisoned the king seemed so wild to me. It seemed like such a fast-moving thing to have happened.
Yes, I see what you're saying. But I think the Nightmare kind of addressed that. He's like, while Raven would make a great king, I think it would be better to keep it in the family instead of having this whole uproar from the people of shifting families and this whole takeover. It's better to keep it within the family.
But the guy who became king was jailed for assassinating the other king.
Yeah, but he did an announcement, I'm sure.
It wasn't me. I was innocent. I'm the king now.
Yeah.
And nobody believes this would be under nefarious circumstances. We're down 2 kings in a month. And the guy who supposedly had the best, who assassinated the first guy, and the guy who really hated his brother, who happened to be the current king, that guy's no longer king. Now that guy is our king? You know what I'm saying? Billy, if John Wilkes Booth took over the presidency and everybody was like, I bet he had his reasons.
It's not a democracy, so they really don't have a say in any of it. And I think the Nightmare was just like, I think there would be less of an uproar if we go this route.
This is a wild play. Just overall, it's funny to me, but they didn't cover that at all. How did the court of public opinion handle this?
Clearly really well. It sounded like a really good turnout at the wedding.
Well, yeah, well, the mist was gone. He's like, there you guys go. You're welcome. Fixed.
I didn't comprehend the mist situation. I thought the mist was like a circular barrier around them.
I think it's a dome.
I think it is, yeah. I thought it was like a ring around them and that it was only like went so high because they were like the blue skies. I'm like, wait, you didn't have blue skies this whole time?
That's why the crops were failing.
Yeah, but I mean, they've been failing long before, right? Like 500 years now.
I mean, listen, Johnny Cash wrote a song about this.
Oh my God.
I was going to go with a Ring of Fire joke.
It's fitting. That's what I imagined.
And then Thunderdome. I think that it was a good book. I want to clarify that. My issues all happened in the last 12 chapters of this book.
What? I was so happy with it. I immediately was like, I'm a dummy on every single chapter with new information. I'm like, I was wrong. I was like, I was a little hopeful on this one, but I was wrong. And I am so glad that it wasn't wrapped up so quickly. In my opinion, I didn't think it was wrapped up quickly. I thought it brought us to the moment, explained how it all happened, and then it rushed through everybody's happily ever after.
Which normally I'm totally for. I just wanted the court of public opinion solved. I want to know
if this type of book would tell you that.
Why wouldn't it? It gives me all of this other information that I don't care about.
It's just like little side interviews from like.
And what happens to the economy in the continent? You've just
booming.
Introduced, okay, yes and no. What about all of those other countries or areas, whatever you want to call them, kingdoms What about all of those surrounding kingdoms that were providing the things that this kingdom is now going to be providing also?
Why would you think like that? You hear about this flourishing new area, you're just like, oh, supply and demand is disrupted.
It is, though, when you really think about it, right? Trade routes are different now. Like, there's so many things that change, and I understand they didn't want to get into all that.
No.
That's fine.
I'm glad they didn't. That's so absurd.
Well, I'm fine with that. But therefore, in the micro scale, we still care about how the citizens feel about what has happened here. These people have been cut off from the rest of the world for 500 years. What is happening outside of this place? Has there been advancement? Are they like a, you know what I mean? Are they like an untouched society? Like, oh my gosh, these people are still back at, we were living like that 500 years ago. Now look at them. These other people, they got cars and stuff. This is modern day outside.
Could you imagine we're just like opening up the borders because the mist is lifted and someone's driving in with vehicles?
Can you imagine there's a town, an entire little kingdom. Imagine there's a spot in, I'm going to say Florida because it seems like that'd be the place this might happen.
No, I'm
Imagine there's a town in
West.
Florida. Oh, okay, all right, fine. Oklahoma.
All right.
All right, so there's a town in Oklahoma, and it's just been cut off from the world. One day, somebody happens to drive through there and go, holy shit. To them, it's still the year 1525. Like, long before the United States even existed. We're not talking like, oh, this fancy buggies and stuff. There weren't guns then. Like, there is so much advancement.
How long ago was 500 years? What year?
1525.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Is imagine all of a sudden there is a society in the early 16th century that we're going back into.
And the whole town is plagued.
This is it. They have no modern medicine. There's nothing.
Right.
These people would be shocked and inundated with the outside technologies. And they'd be like, well, we were held captive by the Lady of the Mist. And they'd be like, the fuck is the Lady of the Mist? Yeah, we noticed it was kind of ugly over there with a big storm. Nobody wanted to go in it. But yeah, other than that, it's the Bermuda Triangle. More or less, right? That's really what happened to
Yeah, because if you were traveling through, like, let's go explore, you're now infected and you were called to that weird little area and you all die.
Yeah, it's the Hotel California of places to go in this whole region. You can go, but you can never leave.
This is your complaint with the book?
Well, I think that it would have been a pretty interesting area to explore. And if we're not going to do that, I think the bare minimum that we could do, besides looking at the economic repercussions of all of these things. Also, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't be completely cut off from the rest of the world because the mist didn't affect animals and they could have had messenger pigeons to carry things to and from places. I don't know.
You just walk out with a charm and you say, hey, when you do your drop-offs, be sure to have a charm.
Then why was the mist ever a big deal?
We mentioned this. I said that it should be a part of your culture at this point to have charms.
We fucking sew them in to these people, and this would have never, ever, ever been a even minor problem.
I also wondered snakeskin boots, if that would work.
No, it has to fit in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what about a snakeskin patch on your boot?
Is it touching your body?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to wear socks with these bad boys.
What? Oh, yeah, it has to be touching your skin.
Yeah, it can't just be a charm in your pocket.
Either way.
Maybe it can be a charm in your pocket. I don't actually think we fleshed that out either. However, what I would say is either they're cut off from the rest of the world.
They're not.
Then why the fuck did all of the magic cards stay in this small area? There is no way an invading force didn't go, yeah, fuck it. Let's go in there and get some magic. That's how things work. Look at what we've done for oil. You're going to tell me that use of A wouldn't have showed up over there and been like, they got magic in them hills. Time to give them freedom. That's insanity to me.
I only had one plot hole, and it wasn't that bad.
And it wasn't also how the court of public opinion was immediately swayed.
No, I didn't think about any of that. I was thinking about the scene where Bennett and Brutus are fighting, and Bennett kills Brutus, rips up the card, changes his last name to you, and I'm like, and he just, oh no, he didn't kill Brutus because Brutus went and became king, right?
Yeah.
But anyways.
I was going to let you go on that one.
Yeah. Bennett rips up the card, uses the mirror card, and he leaves. And he just changes his last name and lives in his castle and has a family there. And Brutus is just like, that's fine. Like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
That was my plot hole. I'm like, how did they live in that castle? Or even if you went generations, that castle was abandoned and then it was your grandkids that moved in there. How did this come to be that you lived in this castle and were the U's? And Brutus didn't know.
So here's the thing. I'm agreeing with you. This is a plot hole. I will say for devil's advocate here. Brutus knows that Bennett didn't like his dad. And so when his dad was removed as king, he maybe saw it as, Bennett's not going to create a big problem for me.
I thought Brutus was an excellent villain because I understood his motivation to be a villain. There was this one topic of what makes a good villain, and it was they all think they're the good guy for whatever reason, right? Whatever their little story is. Hoth was just pure asshole. There was no, I'm the good guy. It was just entitlement. As Brutus, he lost his wife to this man, and the same man keeps saying that he's going to get rid of this mist, but he keeps making these deals and creating these cards, and I'm raising his kids. He's not here, and he killed his sister. I understood his villain story.
Yeah, no, his motivations don't seem far-fetched.
Like, he's a terrible person, of course.
He's an asshole that's motivated appropriately.
Yeah, as Hoth, I felt like his was just a prick.
True. Now, we could get into why Hoth was probably an asshole.
Why?
How they're trained prior to using the scythe card is to be tortured so that they can deal with the pain.
Oh, that happened to Hoth?
Mm-hmm. And we learned this when the king says, don't hold that against Hoth. You'll have to do it to your kids too someday. Hoth was the oldest brother, so his dad did that to him.
Oh.
And then so on and so forth.
Well, Hoth wasn't seemingly doing it as part of this ritual. He was just doing it because he's a dick.
I think that all has to do with the perspective that we're given of the book, but also hurt people hurt people.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess I didn't piece that together that Hoth went through any of this. I didn't think that he did. I thought he was just given a card.
No, I don't think so. Hoth was pretty proficient at using that card also. He just wasn't as good as Elm.
Yeah.
That's your only plot hole.
Yes.
I think that's fair. I think that's a logical plot hole. I have a couple others that I don't want to really get into. I'm going to real quick.
Oh,
we can cut them anyway.
You made it 2 seconds.
Well, because I was like, nah, fuck it. I'm not going to get another chance to bring this up.
Yep, go ahead.
We just assumed that her magic was absorbing those cards. We never tested it on like a second card. Ever.
I think it was just too risky.
What the fuck was the risk? Once we have the card to eliminate all of the mist, before that's even used, fuck it. Let her do it. Let her absorb the magic from those cards.
I don't know. I think it was just too risky because you don't know what it's like. You do know that she absorbed his soul.
Try me and my magic, Amy. You don't know what
it's
it's like.
I just think it irritated me at first because I'm like, what? We have no evidence. And then the nightmare said it. And I'm like, I don't know. He seems like a good resource to believe.
He does seem well informed.
And if that's all that you know, it is way too risky. So.
All right, fine. I just don't like that we never got to experiment with that at all. It seems like that could have really done something in our story. And it really only served the purpose of bringing us a second primary character that shares a body with our FMC, which is okay.
Yeah.
But it's odd, nevertheless.
Yeah, that one didn't bug me after we first discussed it. I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. It's too risky. And then...
Next plot hole, we let stepmom still live.
Stepmom seemed to be okay. She was just a straight asshole in the beginning. And then she just stayed at home the rest of the book.
I feel like that's all she kind of did from the beginning of the book.
Yeah, she's just been hanging out at home.
Like, she's an asshole, but she's not saboteuring anything here.
No, I don't think she ever came to visit her husband either.
No, I had no idea where the fuck she was.
I think she was
It's she and her daughters, and they were just chilling there at the house the whole time. Like, This is so weird to me. Also, Hoth fucking tosses Ione out a window.
Yep.
Nobody sees Ione be tossed out a window.
No.
Nobody hears the busted glass or the body hitting the ground where your king is present at this home for a birthday party. Security is so lax. Nobody's around.
They didn't have windows. It was just this big open hole. Shoved her out it. She plummeted. And it's on the backside of the castle.
And this did not come up with anyone leading up to before Hoth was emaciated.
What do you mean? It didn't come up?
So the people with whom he surrounded himself.
Well, he told Lyndon.
Well, once he had the nightmare card, leading up to that, he didn't tell Lyndon. Lyndon didn't know that Ione was supposed to be dead until he managed to talk to him with the nightmare card.
Why would you admit your murder? And no, stop it. I told you that he shoved her out the window, she left, and then he was destroyed and in a coma. Like the next day.
Yeah, I'm saying the next day. I agree, but he had time to get a hold of the guy who would, the Inquisitor, basically, right? The guy who had the crazy claws that would be like, you're tainted.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. So we had time to organize a time where they could ambush Elspeth with that guy. You didn't tell your best friend and only destrier that you trust. Well, you're like, holy fuck, I pushed this girl out the window and she's not there anymore. And if he did not confirm within the day that she was not there, what did he assume was going to happen with the body? Nobody ever said, holy shit, the future queen is dead? This is something you would be like, I haven't seen my wife in a while. Anybody seen, or my fiance, sorry. I haven't seen my fiance. Anybody looking around? Perhaps she fell out that window. And they'd be like, no, sir, we just found a person-sized print in the ground.
I don't think I'm following why this is a problem. He shoves her out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he look out to see her dead body?
He's going to want to recover it.
No.
Okay, then he's going to want to make sure somebody's going to notice this, and you're going to want to make sure that you have an alibi. You want all of these things squared away if you're going to murder her, because he didn't premeditated murder her. He did it in sort of a fit of like, I just don't fucking like you. Boop.
I think it was like down into the water, into rocks. Like I'm totally fine that he didn't check.
What is
and it makes sense.
What do the grounds around this house look like? Where there's a moat within a window's distance.
I thought there was
of somebody falling.
Rocks. Yeah.
No.
And then it made sense that Hotha wouldn't tell anybody. Why would you tell people I murdered my wife, my soon-to-be? Like, that made sense that
you need somebody willing to cover for you.
No, he doesn't care. He literally locked up his brother on false pretenses. He can get away with anything.
Well, first of all, he locked up his brother on the pretenses that were technically true. Technically, he did poison the king, even if he was compelled to do so.
Okay.
And
yeah, but I mean, like...
He set himself up to look like the good guy in that scenario, too, where he's like, hey, this guy's fucking around and wanted to kill the king after he made this big show of let's all be brothers. Drink with me, brother.
He could have just said she was infected. She lied. Boop. Shoved her out.
I totally agree, but I'm saying you don't think it would be odd that there may go a day.
I don't think this is his first cover-up.
I think this is the first time a queen-to-be has probably been murdered randomly at a place where the king exists at a birthday party where security has to be high. Several of the people attending this are Vedestriers, let alone the king's guard that's everywhere. Let alone the Inquisitor guy who murders all the children with black blood.
Yeah.
I do think this is a plot hole.
I disagree because it was with like...
You're not getting away with anything in the future. If you want to murder, you need to be more well thought through than this.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I think that he is just so untouchable and that this book has showed us he's untouchable. He shoves her out the window. He goes, grabs what's-his-face to go then interrogate Elspeth, and then he's in a coma. His plan couldn't move forward. And then when he is awake, he's just like, that's when he tells them, like, he even tells Lyndon, he's like, yeah, I killed her. She's alive. It's the maiden. And they were totally fine with this, of him even admitting that he murdered her. They were totally fine watching
first of all, let's not say it's Lyndon, pretty much.
Okay, sure. But I don't think Lyndon's going to be the only one. Totally fine with letting him test it out, the maiden card of murdering her.
I'm not disagreeing that Lyndon's cool with his murder plan. I'm saying that's what makes it weird that he didn't tell Lyndon at all leading up to this. And then secondly, it's odd because there is time between when the Inquisitor guy shows up and when he murders her. How do they catch murderers?
They don't.
Okay, they do. The biggest thing that happens is people that murder tend to go back to the scene of the crime.
Yeah, it was his bedroom.
Because they want to, he didn't even take time to look out the window.
To look at a dead body? That's a waste of his time.
Or it's exactly what a cold-blooded murderer does. They literally return to the scene of the crime to check things out.
He couldn't, Ryan.
He could have looked out a window.
Ryan.
There was no time between this. You're saying he pushed her out the window. 2 minutes later, Elspeth comes up the stairs with her uncle. The Inquisitor walks in, and they proceed to get emaciated.
Yes. You know what? Yes. I'm just going to say yes. That's what happened.
Why are you mad?
Because
this is
not a plot hole.
It is. It's a plot hole.
It is not. That one's fine.
It's so weird.
You're so whiny.
Okay.
I like this book.
I do like this book.
I feel like you're going to lower my rating now.
How?
Because I want to give it 5 stars again.
Okay. I never want to give them 5 stars. These are minor issues.
This is a lot of issues.
What do you mean? There's like 5.
What?
Through the course of, 100 chapters, having 5 issues, I don't think that's too bad. She did way better writing this than I would. I'm not suggesting that it's a bad book. I think it's an awesome book that just didn't end in a way that I liked, and it had a couple plot holes in the middle that I wasn't a big fan of.
I'm not validating some of these plot holes.
Well, I don't understand. What's happening? Okay. Tell me what you liked most. What was your single favorite thing about this book?
That's a big question. I really liked Elm and Ione's story. I liked how romantic he was. And I do like how we got to see a little bit more of Raven and the Nightmare near the end, where the Nightmare would just fuck with Raven a bit and making jokes of like, Elspeth says she's not going to kiss you if you don't get up and blah, blah, blah. She's never going to kiss you again. All right, well, she didn't actually say that, but...
Well, like, it was buddy cop-esque.
Yeah.
Where he's like, she didn't fucking say that. And he's like, nah, she didn't.
You're right. Well, you do need to get up. So I really like that. I like their relationships. I like to see in all the relationships. I wish that there was a touch more on the stepmom. Her just hanging out at the house. I really thought she was going to chop down that tree because she was pissed. That didn't go anywhere, which is fine. I didn't really want the tree chopped down. I liked that it tied up the loose end of Jesper not only surviving, but also starting a relationship with someone like that, starting to take off. I really liked that. And I liked that we found out what happened to the children. I was a little worried that we weren't. I liked all of it. I liked how it wrapped up. It was really satisfying. It was a satisfying book. And I liked that it was like a whole nother book, but in the same universe almost. Like there was crossover from obviously last book into this one with the storyline, but I like that this one was just it's almost a whole new thing.
It felt like this book was the primary story, and the first book is more of a prequel.
I would say yes to that.
I
What
agree.
about you? What did you like about it, though?
Like 99% of the book. I stand by like you said, Ione and Elm. I've fucking loved that since last book, even. Like, I was like, there's going to be something here. It's going to be sick. That's the thing I'm most proud of in guessing throughout the whole thing, because I believe it was, 25 chapters into the first book. I called it. That's pretty much the only thing I actually guessed right in these books, and I really liked that too, to be fair. I liked that I was not correct for the most part in this book. I loved Raven and the Nightmare interacting in the last several chapters. I didn't like how some of that went earlier on, but I think it was necessary to build to what it was in the end.
You were also right about the shape-shifting with Elspeth and the Nightmare, because I'm pretty sure he shapeshifts into the Nightmare form at some point and into the Golden Knight, which was very confusing because he could have done that this whole time. And it didn't sound like it used that much of his energy. Maybe it did. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think you want to keep Raven a little horny. It really confused him. Yeah.
There was a confusing part where we see a lot of parallels in Raven being Bennett, Jesper being the sister aunt person, and also Tilly. Wait, Jesper played the role of a couple of people in the past.
Jesper was called Tilly at one point.
Yes, he called her Tilly. She got the same magic as Tilly.
Which is what?
Healing. It was like the maiden card. And we saw another parallel, I think, with Brutus and Hoth. We see a lot of those parallels from the past and into the current day. But did Elspeth have some? Was there anything with that? Or is Elspeth the current day version of the Nightmare?
I think Elspeth may have represented a mix of the spirit of the wood and the Nightmare wanting to redeem his shitty fathering. I think it was kind of a blend of those two things, depending on when he was addressing her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it did seem like he was trying to right some of his wrongs, but it was also the soul version of him that he gave up. So it makes sense that he would be better at it. His soul would be than,
Well, like that Raven points out, you fucked up your own kids and now you fucked up this one. Good job. But I love that in the end they seem so attached because they really gained a point of understanding each other.
Yes.
And I've always loved the way that he addresses her. Dear one. And all these other things where it's meant to be endearing and sweet, even when he's being kind of a cock about it.
We didn't mention the Spirit of the Wood. What'd you think of that?
Honestly, good. Too short. Too anticlimactic and too just muhahaha for me. It gave Marie Laveau vibes, which was cool, but not the whole like time has no effect on me. Then why do you keep bringing up 500 years like it's some big deal? Like, quit making arguments that you keep saying don't matter to you. Does that make sense?
It does. I think the mist has been there for 500 years, which I think I've gotten lost on what the original story was. Now that I'm this far like through, I'm like, I don't
kind of forgot why everybody was initially upset.
Why are we all here? How did this all happen? I've kind of forgotten. So the mist has been there for 500 years. The mist is there because the Spirit of the Wood got jealous of the cards. Therefore, the Spirit of the Wood made a deal with Taxis, right? In creating these cards, she's upset. She creates the mist, and this whole thing goes on. She could do all this again with somebody else if she's bored.
This is kind of my issue with even her being like, they quit coming to me for advice, so I put up this mist. It didn't fix that issue for you. You were not a solution-driven spirit then.
She just made deals, and then she's in this deal and then this deal, and now it's all been reversed. She can do some more deals.
Yeah, but I'm saying initially, what benefit did the mist give her, really? Just having these people's souls, but people didn't come there to make deals with her.
It was something about feeding them, and then like, oh no, if they lift this, how is she gonna eat now?
And this also, if she's omniscient, because when she takes him back in the past, right, she's like, it's just time. Time means nothing to me. It's all kind of happening at the same time. What does the time matter then?
Did she know it was all going to happen this way?
Well, she must have. Time has no bearing on her, not in the way that she is immortal, but in the way that she experiences things simultaneously, right? As if it were omniscience.
I think she kind of wanted it all to happen anyways, because if she knew that this could happen, she would have blocked it. But Ione mentioned that the trees moved out of her way when she was coming through, which I interpreted to mean the Spirit of the Wood was welcoming her.
I agree with you on this. And this is why I don't think the Spirit of the Wood was necessarily bad. I just think it was too quick. We got such a basic rundown of motivation for the Spirit of the Wood, and then we got such a basic breakdown as to how it all works.
I didn't know that the nightmare could control the trees.
Raven brings up that the nightmare has magic. A specific type of magic. Already, without the cards, he was a powerful magic user. I assume the trees have something to do with all of that as well. Because he was king before the cards. And that was at a time where magic was at a premium. Yeah, the shepherd was the king. But also he was the shepherd of the wood. It wasn't a shepherd of
There was some first
sheep.
deal that he made with the Spirit of the Wood, and the Spirit of the Wood said, will you come back after you are essentially king? Will you still come back to me? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And then that was when he was given that sword. And I think he was pretty young and he wasn't the king yet.
Okay, so he's the king of the woods prior to this, right?
Oh, goodness. I think I have to reread it because there were all these tiny little stories that I just didn't understand at the time what they were telling us.
Totally possible. I'm with you on that. I've kind of lost the sauce a little bit here too.
Yeah, I think I got lost.
And I think some of it is, it's difficult because there is so much lore, but the lore is being given to you at times where it's going to be applicable, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's really well done. I think this book would benefit from you reading it quickly.
Yes, to remember what was just said maybe like 18 chapters ago.
Yeah, there's a lot of detail.
Book. Yeah.
In that sense, I do think we missed some things on this. Honestly, I think I missed a lot, and especially toward the end, because certain things were happening so fast that I would be like, what the fuck was that? And I'd try to go back and figure it out. And other things were happening so slowly that I was like, I don't care about this. Why are we doing this? Why is it dragging on? I appreciate their journey to the Spirit of the Wood. That took up 5 times the amount of time that their interaction with the Spirit of the Wood did.
I think that follows or tracks with other stories that it's about the adventure.
It's about the journey.
Yeah.
The real Spirit of the Wood was the adventure we had along the way.
Yes.
I do think that the Spirit of the Wood portion should have taken place with more than just a quick, here's Raven, here's him interacting with the Spirit of the Wood, and here's the deal. It reminded me a little bit of the Akatar situation.
I disagree. I think it was long enough. They went on to multiple memories, or not memories, just going through history.
Yeah. I appreciated it. I just think it could have been a little more. That's all.
What more did you want?
I wanted more about Brutus because we were able to empathize with Brutus because we were kind of looking at how life had gone so far for him. I wanted something more leading up to Brutus because we're led to believe that initially Brutus and Taxus are buddies. Brutus ends up banging his sister. We don't hear about their children. We hear about Taxus's kids. And I understand the importance of that given that basically Bennett is reincarnated as Raven. But also this is 500 years worth of generations and things changing. There should not be one-to-one analogs for your children 500 years later. You know what I'm saying?
I think I see what you're saying.
Like we've really, ideally the bloodline is pretty fucking diluted at this point because we've got what, how many generations is that? Every roughly, we could say 25 years is a generation, right? So that's 20 generations of people later.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it just seems like that would be, we've diluted 4% of your blood is that guy. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I'm following why that wasn't long enough in the Spirit of the Wood. With the Spirit of the Wood.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got bunny trail in the woods. I would have liked to have seen Brutus and his wife's relationship a little bit. I would have liked to have understood the motivations that made the Rowans who they are, as opposed to, I'm taking care of your kids, you're a shitty king. Why did he want the Destriers to be this CIA sort of overpowering force? What is his motivation for punishing people by having them walk in the wood? What is that motivation? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I think it was there. I don't remember it, but I feel as though that was answered, and I just didn't put much weight to it.
What do we know about Elm's mom?
Not much.
Elspeth's mom?
Not much, but she died. Well, Eric kind of went into it a little bit, and Elm was like, why are you telling me this? He's like, I just wanted to know what the words tasted like.
And I think that was a lovely moment. But I'm saying we have this opportunity to look back on some of these characters. And I understand the ones that we picked, but I think it would have felt good for me to have received something in the way of this. Ultimately, Brutus is the one who starts this nonsense.
But it's a duology. To do it in 2 books, I think this was done right.
Give me one extra chapter. Give me one more chapter, Spirit of the Wood, where it's like, hey, this is kind of what made Brutus into a dickhead. Look at how lovely he and his wife's relationship was. And then she was taken from him. Like, you know what I mean? There could be some...
Yeah, I think there could be more substance than what we got into that. I personally think that there was enough that I understood his origin. Like earlier where I said like his villain story was, I think, well done because we can see that his wife was taken from him and that he sees his brother-in-law abandoning his children and seeing his wife take on these kids and whatnot and trying to step up.
We saw enough to justify anger.
Yeah.
But I don't think we saw enough to understand why he became the king he was.
True. I would agree. I think we see why he took the throne and why he did it that way. I don't think I see the motivation to be as cruel as he was to the people, though. That part, yeah, didn't make sense. Other than he didn't maybe understand the magic and he was just out to kill everybody. Because I also thought that he was not... I thought it was Hoth that was killing people by just walking them out into the mist. I thought Brutus was just not caring for people that were infected.
No, Taxus, when he's sitting on his throne and Brutus comes in to give him shit, he's like, don't think I'm blind to the nonsense you're doing. You claim to want to eliminate this mist, but you're punishing those that you deem fit by forcing them with my scythe card to walk into the mist. He pulled the same thing Hoth did. And we're not really given...
Yeah, why? Why does he have so much hate towards that?
He helped raise Taxus's kids, and yet he murders them all? Odd.
Yeah, that part was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, and I just don't feel like I have... like, you're right. I'm given enough to understand why he's angry, but I'm not given enough to understand his actions, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. Now that you're kind of saying that, I was like, I guess I don't know why he murdered the children. So other than... his motivation is to take the throne, and therefore you have to kill Taxus and his children.
So you leave the oldest child.
Well, he couldn't find the oldest child. And that's where my plot hole was. You found him because he was at the castle this whole time. That was my plot hole to it, because I was just like, well, if you needed them all dead, Bennett has been over at the house there where he's always lived. Other than maybe he built something else nearby, and that's where you have the ruins, which is the old Taxus castle, and now you have the U castle, and that's how we got away with it. That's probably
Within a
what it
short
is.
distance.
Yeah, it's very short because near the end, Raven has 10 minutes until he's dead. So the nightmare walks X minutes to the chamber from wherever Raven was there
And back.
and back inside the castle, the U castle, within 10 minutes.
This is what I'm saying.
So it is a much shorter distance than I thought it was between the U castle to the ruins, which is now, we know, is the Taxus castle.
Let's say it's a quarter mile.
Sure.
A quarter mile.
But in his beast form, he can run pretty fast.
Okay, let's say it's a mile and a half. The fuck is happening where you're not noticing a castle being built?
Yeah, I would agree. I think
It's on the main drag.
Figured it out. I don't know.
And everybody else was already named after trees. What, there wasn't a U person before this? I guess U is a different name for the tree.
It is.
You're
and I looked
correct.
this up. Taxus is the Latin name
Yes.
for the U, like some type of U tree.
And this does make sense. I'm on board with that. I don't know. I love this book. I'm just beating up on the things. I want to get the bad out of the way.
Yeah.
Because there's so much good.
Just start with all the bad stuff first.
I think then I can be overall more positive leading into my review.
I would agree. Because if you hold on to the negative stuff, it seeps into you trying to be positive as opposed to, all right, I got all of this out. Now I can feel good about all these other things.
Yes. So overall, really enjoyed the book.
What would you rate it? I'm curious what your rating is after hearing all of this.
Well, now I don't want to. I want to wait until after we're done talking about the book to give it a rating.
Okay.
Because I'm afraid I will be less than charitable at the moment.
Well, where did we end up? We ended on chapter 38, and that's when Hoth was in the room. And we've talked about a lot of this, so I'm just going to kind of briefly go over it, see if there's anything that jogs our memory or have any thoughts on it. Chapter 39, that's when they're first greeted by the Spirit of the Wood. It was very brief. Chapter 40 is back to Hoth being in Elm's room. Hoth froze him with the scythe card, gave Ione the card, then stabbed her in the heart, and she nearly died, but she didn't. And this is where I thought they were going to kill Hoth, who had the maiden card. I made a comment, I'm like, well, you could behead somebody, and they could not be revived with the maiden card on this one. I was like, that's how Hoth is going to go. The whole time I'm listening to the ending chapters, I'm waiting for, this is the plan, right, guys? Right, guys? And then they stabbed him in the heart, which confirmed that no one had to die this whole time. Like, I'm glad that they chose Hoth and how they all did it, but where Raven said he was going to sacrifice himself, or Elspeth was going to, the blood just needed to be dropped.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know where they got the sacrifice thing from. Because we were told the whole time that it requires blood.
Yes.
We weren't told that it requires a sacrifice.
The sacrifice came from the Hoth family. The king said that that's what he was going to do.
The Roan family.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yep.
Goodness.
It's okay.
I think that's where that came from, and everyone was just like, someone's going to die.
That's true. All right. I'm
And
on
it
board.
ended up being someone who did die, but
Did he? Or did he just meander out into the woods to become the boy toy of a spirit of the...
oh my God, no.
She's like, come here, pool boy.
I'm assuming that he died in that pit thing, but maybe he didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Chapter 41 is back to Raven and the Spirit of the Wood. He tapped the card, but he did not take it. Raven confesses that he planned to sacrifice himself in Elspeth's place, and then he was alone with the Spirit of the Wood. The Spirit of the Wood was trying to make a deal with him by saying, if you leave the Twin Alder card with me, she will help Elspeth be released from whatever's going on there, and Elm will be saved, and he declines.
Emery would also be safe, right?
Yeah, everyone's going to
Yep.
be saved. All the people close to you, but overall, everything else will stay the same if you leave the Twin Alder card here. Then she offers him to be king because he's not accepting it. She will give him the card if he can share his name riddle, three-headed bird, highwayman, destrier, and what? And he's like, well, I deserve 2 clues. So she gives him clues that lead him
I love
right
that
to
he
it.
was able to just say, I deserve 2 clues. She's like, okay, fine. You kind of do.
Yeah, I think that she is She's very focused on the balance, but I think she just likes making deals.
I think she's like Jigsaw. She just wants to play a game.
Yeah, I think she's just bored. And she's like, you're right. I can see where you're coming from. It's kind of like when our kids are acting up and they're just like, yeah, but what about this or this or this? And we're like, you know what? You have a point. You have been heard. Like, that's how I took it, I guess.
I agree.
She shows him 500 years ago when Taxus was killed by Brutus because he killed his wife. Bennett fought Brutus, tore the scythe card, that's the fourth one, figured out where that one's at, and Bennett hid with the mirror card. So his name is Taxus. That's clearly a last name, I've now learned. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like the second name was Taxus. I didn't know it was his last name.
That's fair. I don't have a lot to add to this other than, again, the way that he's like, my name is Taxus. I found that a little odd, where I'm like, okay, I'm glad you were able to suss that out, but you wouldn't have got that without her hints.
No, he would not have.
So, pretty good thing that he asked for those. Little plot.
I thought the whole time the riddle was going to be something about not being a lover, but something about the third version of him is about him and Elspeth.
Instead of the king.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be about because it was Highwayman, Destrier, and
Prince, really? Because that's your third thing, homie.
Then it's back to Hoth and Elm. That scene was horrible after, like, the whole being stabbed.
Dude, I felt so bad for that dude. Honestly, Elm is the character who I decided I actually care about in this whole book.
Yeah, I would agree.
I was like, God damn it.
Could you imagine watching me be stabbed and you can't do anything about it?
No, I honestly don't think that I could do nothing about it. This is my, what do they call that? Delusion.
Where every guy thinks he can fly a plane in an emergency situation.
Yeah, we do. And also in this situation, I'm like, I could break free of the card.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to be this moment where he is being controlled by the scythe, but he was able to push through it. And it was like this insane, like, heroic.
Yeah, and no, which I'm kind of glad they didn't do, but at the same time, it's exactly what I expected.
So Hoth says he will marry and take over as king. I don't understand. Hoth tells the king that Raven will be back with the Shepherd King. The king is like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, you let him go, and he's doing all this. I missed how Hoth would know about the Shepherd King. I don't know when he would have learned about that, because he wakes up, he learns about the mating card, but then he comes back to his dad, and he's just like, Raven is with the Shepherd King. I don't know how he knows that, other than
I think he was briefed. He seemed to be aware of what was going on around him in the room. And I highly doubt that they weren't talking all about how, like, hey, that fucking girl is infected with the Shepherd King.
Yeah, I don't know how Hoth knew this, but Hoth killed his father, and the king gave the scythe.
Did he? Did he? A little indirectly.
The king gave the scythe card to Elm.
Princes don't kill people, cards do. You know what I'm saying?
So Elm gets the king's scythe, and then he uses that scythe to get his original one back. And he saves Ione. They're running away, and then he's in so much pain. It sounds like he's dying. He passes out. She continues running. Then we also learn that that's where she's going into the woods. Elm is caught by the Destriers. Back to Elspeth and the Nightmare, talking about living life without him. Raymond came back, and it sounds like Taxus is an old name for a yew tree, and I've already said that. It's like this Latin name. How did Bennett get away with changing his name and living in the Taxus castle without Brutus knowing? I think we kind of addressed that.
I think he put on one of those pair of glasses with the nose and the mustache the whole time, and everybody's like, we don't know who he is. Just some gray-eyed mustache guy. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Eugene Levy?
Yes. Well, he's told all the time that he has a beak, too. Just like your great-great-great-great-great-great-great grandpappy. You, too, have a beak.
And gray eyes. What a astonishing feature that nobody else has. For it being such a dominant trait, you would think that would have spread a little further in 500 years.
Well, doesn't Elspeth also have gray-black eyes?
Black. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her eyes are pitch black and then sometimes yellowy.
Right. Nightmare wants revenge and to take the throne and is going to do it by making Elm king. Spirit came back and she's just like, you're still using that card. I like to think that she was getting annoyed by their conversation of just like, oh my God, you guys are annoying. Please stop talking to me. Taps the card. she's freed of their nonsense.
Honestly, I totally get it. I would also at a certain point wanted to tap the card.
It ended up being 24 days that they used the card. It's now winter solstice, and Peter was...
Those people just waited in the woods.
No, Peter left.
Yeah, Taxis just waited for 24 days. Or were they also affected by the same time magic that he was?
I think so, because they were like in that secondary part within the woods, and time then started moving differently. But I think Peter was the only one experiencing 24 days.
Oh, okay. All right.
And what I got is I think Peter was starting to head back, ran into Ione.
And then did what for 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Like, this guy is crazy.
Okay, so they're now back. They need to venture back. And they're like, we only have like 3 cards. There's cards here and there's cards here. And the final
because we didn't bring them with us.
Yeah.
You fistful of dumbasses.
Left them everywhere.
Why?
So not only do they have like, I thought they had hours to go because today is winter solstice. And they have like 6 hours to get back. And they got back within like 30 minutes of midnight. I don't know.
It's not a deep forest.
But their adventure there took them more than 6 hours.
Well, yeah. But they had to swim and all kinds of other stuff. On the way back, they used the bridge.
Yes. Right. And also all the debts had been paid, so all the issues weren't going to be there on the way
that's
back.
true. Yeah. Patrol underneath the bridge is like, nah, you guys are cool.
You paid.
You paid. Yeah.
Raven fell down at some point, and the nightmare tells him Elspeth won't kiss him again if he doesn't get up. They run into Peter and Ione. Peter heroically took Jesper, very flirty. And last time I was like, I'm definitely wrong. My bad.
I thought the nightmare had Jesper the whole time.
He did.
Like, imagine little Elspeth with just firemen carrying her the whole way through this forest, just sprinting with her on her back. I thought it was so adorable.
And that's when I think that's when I think Peter kind of pushed, because the nightmare's like, that. No, I have her. And he's like, no, please, I would like to. And I think then she's on like the horse or something like that.
No, that makes sense. I kind of missed that part. I literally thought the nightmare had her the entire time. And Peter was like, let me take her. Nightmare's like, no, fuck off. I got her.
And I think Peter pushed a little bit more. And that's when I knew it was romantically.
Peter pushed? Peter pushed a peck of pickled peppers?
He pushed a little harder. Then they make it to the U Castle, and Hoth was there. And then we jump backwards. And this is where time is getting wonky.
Do you picture it's like the Batman thing in the old Batman show? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
It's like a zoom in, everything swirls. Hold on. I'll find it. There's a reference for this. Let's see. Batman transition.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. It's like a type of cutscene from one to another. And it like spins around.
I would love to start doing our segues that way.
Each chapter change.
It's so fucking funny.
No, I think that's great because, yeah, we kind of like hop to another completely different section. Elma's getting his ass beat by Hoth, questioning.
Whoa, Elm's getting beat up by Hoth. Otherwise it sounds like he's just spanking. It's like, naughty. Are you one? Are you two?
Oh.
You're 26 years old, your ass is gonna be bruised.
Oh. He was interrogating him about where Raven is.
As if he would know that fucking a month later, I might add.
Yeah, it's
like,
been a month.
Like, well, listen, he's probably within 30 days walking distance, you dumb fuck. Find him.
Elm has frostbitten toes and fingers. He's exhausted. Eric spoke to Elm about losing his wife and thinking Raven was the same as him until the day he saw Raven on Market Day.
Do we ever bring back up the whole frostbitten parts?
Yes, it comes back up because the 3 of them, Eric, Tyrion, and Elm, were walking out into the woods to Ione and Elspeth, and they passed the maiden card around, and it cured their frostbite.
Nice. Okay. I didn't realize that. That's good.
Yes. Ione's dad, the coward that he is, he shares how he killed a man for the nightmare card. And it was like he was trying to act tough. He's like, I killed a man once. Would you believe that? And they're like, no, we wouldn't. He's like, yeah, well, I saw a highwayman and I killed him. All for my daughter to be a queen. So if she doesn't end up queen, it's all for nothing.
How did he know that guy had the nightmare card? Is that guy just flashing it? Who is this guy?
No clue. That's all. We don't get to know who he was. I thought it was going to be someone important.
It's odd to me that card has been missing for 480 years, roughly, at this point. And just some random highway guy's got the card, and he happens to be the worst highwayman.
Yeah, that's a really great point.
Little soft hands can take him down.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's been hidden for so long and it's just picked up that way.
Secret squirrel over here. This guy, he's like, hey, don't fucking tell anybody. You don't look like a guy that could murder me. Check this bad boy out. And Tyrion's like, I think I could do a murder.
Do you think that there's details of where the other one went? Because we learn about the whole path of the nightmare card being given to Bennett, and then that's put away in the stone.
You mean as far as details of that
Yeah,
second
where's
one?
the second one? Was that it was probably taken by Brutus in the family, and then they lost it.
Well, at some point, Brutus had access to all of the cards.
You think so?
Well, yeah, because when he killed the Shepherd King had access to all of the cards. He couldn't use them, but he knew where they were. He distributed the Scythe cards. He distributed the the Black Horse cards.
Wait a minute, didn't Taxus have the twin alders even?
I think he possessed it at one point.
How did it get back?
I don't know.
Oh man, I'm so
Maybe he made a
lost
bad
now.
trade. I don't
Because
remember.
I remember
either.
thinking that he was holding on to the card and we discussed how somebody else could use it. And you were like, who else would you trust?
Oh, yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, so he had access to a Twin Alders card, but he couldn't use it and he didn't trust anybody else to.
Exactly. How did the Spirit of the Wood get the twin alders back?
It's a great question. Maybe he left it there for safekeeping. Maybe he's like, I don't fucking trust anybody else to actually have this. You hold on to it and I'll come back when I want to destroy you.
I am so lost. How did that happen? Oh, dang it. Oh, well.
Leave a comment.
Yeah, I'm going
Let us know.
Try to Google it. What else do we have? We have, they're in jail, and then Ha takes them to the U Castle.
What songs do you think they were singing in jail?
I don't think they were singing. It sounded pretty fucking cold.
I'm sorry, people don't sing in the cold?
What songs were you
Have you not
picturing?
heard? Germany has quite the whole singing sensations. If you just imagine they're all in 80s clothes. Like, have you never seen Eurovision?
That's what you're thinking? That they're singing Eurovision songs?
First of all, I think that would be bitching. But no. No, I'm just thinking, like, you're in jail. You got nothing else to do. I assume everybody in jail's singing. You're either doing push-ups or you're singing. Those are the only two things.
Those are the only options.
Studying law sometimes, depending on which prison you're in. But yeah, I assume that if you got nothing better to do, wouldn't it be fun if it was like they were singing the King of Broken Hearts, like George Strait? You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
From
I do know
Pure
what you're
Country?
saying now.
That seems like a good jail song, even though I think he's singing it on a porch in that movie. But I think that would be a great jail song, just chilling. I mean, it could be any number of jail songs, but very few of them sound nice in a cappella.
A Johnny Cash song.
What if one of them learned how to beatbox? And then they've got this whole thing going. They can sing anything with a good beatboxer. And he's like struggling at first, and they're like, God damn it, Tyrion, stop. And he's like, I've just about got it. And he's just, wouldn't that be cool?
Nothing but
Bam,
idol.
bam. I think it'd be so much fun. That's it. They're beatboxing, jamming out. What if they were singing It's Getting Cold in Here? Singing Frostbite.
That's really fucked up.
But it would be fun. I'm sure there's a million different prison songs.
I'm sure there are, and I'm sure they were going through them all.
The greatest hits.
The greatest is.
I think that would be so much fun. What's a good prison song? What do you think? Not chain gang songs. That would be a problem.
I don't know. I never think of music.
Hold on. I've got to look up a good prison song. Let's see what we think. We've hit an area that I don't know a lot about. But okay. Other than Jailhouse Rock by Elvis Presley, that might work. Folsom Prison Blues would work too, I guess, but there's no trains, so I don't imagine. Jailhouse Rock, lyrically still a bit of a challenge, but it does seem something like a bunch of scraggly dudes in jail would enjoy singing. Locked Up by Akon. Maybe he got really good at beatboxing. That could be fun. Again, Chain Gang. I don't want that to be the song, but Sam Cooke cooks. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
All right.
What's the name of that song?
Chain Gang.
Who sings it?
Sam Cooke.
It reminds me of the song, like the melody, the way that it flows reminds me of I Don't Know Much About History.
Same singer.
It is the same singer. Okay,
singer.
That's what I thought of when he started singing there.
That's a decidedly worse prison song. But it is. The melody is incredibly similar, and it is by the same singer. So, artist, whatever you want to call him.
I would call that a win for me.
I
Usually
agree.
I don't even know
I'm
the
so
songs.
proud of you right now. And another Saturday night and he ain't got nobody. Hey, that could be another good prison zone.
Another Saturday night as they're just going, like being taken to the U Castle.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they get taken there. Ione shows up with the Scythe, Maiden, and Twin Alders.
And an attitude. Like she always does.
Raven is with the mirror card, and he stabs Hoth, and the trees attack the Destriers. As a Destrier, seeing this scenario play out, given the opportunity that Raven has given some of them, like, this is your opportunity to leave or die.
Basically, he's Valorax in this situation.
No, the nightmare.
The Thanins have gone too far.
I speak for the trees.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Where he's just like, yes, sneaky. Yeah, imagine you're a Destrier. And here comes Raven. He's got a mustache now because it's been a month.
I would not pick the side where we are being killed by trees.
Perhaps not, but also are you going to pick the side fighting the guy that appears to be immortal? Just got stabbed in the chest and he's like, ha ha ha, 'tis but a flesh wound. I don't know. I think it's a tough decision in the moment, to be fair.
Think so?
Well, a little bit, because the captain of your side is immortal. The other guy speaks for the trees.
I don't think you think all the Destriers know that Hoth is immortal right now?
I think they could figure it out. Oh, this guy used to have scars and shit. Now look at him. He's beautiful. He recovered from this insane problem where he was emaciated. And now he got stabbed in the chest and seems pretty unbothered. I would say at a certain point, you're probably observing this and going, well, fuck me. What do we do? Well, the guy in charge of the trees does seem to have some shit going for him. But also one forest fire and all of his allies are gone. The other guy is immune to swords. I don't know.
Jesper fights the Destriers, and Peter saves her with one of them.
He didn't need to. She should have never been a damsel in distress. She should have saved Peter.
I didn't know why she didn't use the Maiden card to be healed.
She thought she already looked hot enough.
I think that they were separated from Ione at this point because they passed the card around, but not to Jesper. Jesper was still weak and in recovery.
That's true. Jesper's in a bad way.
The Shepherd King commands the trees. He sent everyone inside. Hoth is in the woods. Raven and Elspeth have a moment, and the nightmare shuts it down. But Raven says, I love you to her. Raven and Hoth fight. Raven tore the scythe, but Hoth stabbed him with the dagger, grabbed the card, and left him for dead. Sounds like typical Hoth stuff. That made sense.
That's true. It does.
Then Elspeth's POV, I think the nightmare is in nightmare form at this point, but then I think not. It's confusing. Ione led the Destriers to them, and the trees killed them, all but one. Where is he? He's there with the arrow, and he goes pew and gets Ione in the arm. And Elm is like, no.
She's gonna sacrifice herself. Every time.
But I love that it actually wasn't Elm that took that Destrier down. It was actually the nightmare. He's like, you're my favorite, essentially. And like that happens, and he takes down the Destrier, and Elm comes over and he takes the sword from him and then stabs the Destrier himself. He's like, no, it's gotta be me.
Again, all of these people doing shit for Ione, she could do herself. Let Ione be the one that kills him.
I am so glad that you just said this and why Ione is amazing, because last book, or maybe it was earlier in this book, it's been too long, she has this moment, right, that she has that highwayman stab himself from below the chin, like up through his head, right?
Yeah.
And she's just staring him down as the blood slowly drips. We watch John Wick with our son, and John Wick does the same exact scene in the club where he stabs him up through the chin and through the head. And he keeps eye contact as he slowly drags him down the wall into the position that he takes a knife out. I'm like, oh my God, that is a great depiction of what Ione did.
Actually, I think that's where John Wick got it from, was Ione.
Exactly, yeah.
Clearly. I agree. She's cold as fuck. Ione is my third favorite character in this book.
Who's number one?
Elm.
And then number two?
The Nightmare.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that because in the beginning you were a little hard on him.
Well, the Nightmare is not without flaw. I mean, who among us isn't?
True. So that whole scene happens. They find Raven, chase down Hoth. We've kind of talked about this 10-minute range. How far is everything from everywhere? It's all within
They're all 10-minute
I would say within a
fight.
minute.
Yeah, well, that's true too. I was gonna say it's a pretty small radius. I
Very
think
small.
they're being pretty generous when they call it a castle.
And he drags Hoth into the chamber. There's 9 cards in there. We still need 3 more. Nightmare says Hoth is the last Rowan, and Elm will be the first of his kind. And Elm. I really like that scene because I'm like, oh, this makes sense. And then I kind of question, what's his name going to be? Is it Renelm Elm?
I think he should have just changed his name into a symbol. He should have gone the Prince method.
Ione arrives with 3 more cards, and with Elm, Nightmare gives a knife to him and then just leaves. Elm broke Hoth's charm, which is also a horsehair charm, I think. The same as...
I thought that Elm took Ione's charm. Or not Elm. I thought Hoth took Ione's charm.
Sounds about right. I don't know. But either way, they break that. Elm and Ione at the same time stab Hoth. I thought that was great.
Do you think they're holding it like their fingers are intertwined? And they're like, the power of love compels us. Wow.
I thought it was really more demonstrating that it's not one of them taking the throne. It's both of them taking the throne together.
It's great. You're right. The symbolism is beautiful.
I liked it.
I took it as they both get to get revenge on the guy that tortured each of them.
Oh, that's much
Yours
better.
I don't know. I think yours is good. I like where you're at.
I like that it showed that Ione will be truly an equal to Elm when it comes to the throne.
Well, yeah. To be fair, I think Ione kind of runs the kingdom and Elm writes the letters.
He was just writing out notices. The mist, I think, literally took Hoth out the window, and they are left with a single unknown card. Then
whatever could it be?
What could it be? I didn't know what it was or what it was going to do. It didn't make sense because I thought it was all is done with the cards being taken. And they're like, 1 more card.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Then we're in chapter 49. We're near the very end. Raven's POV, he's back at the castle. They try to save him. Nightmare arrives, and he wants to pull out the knife and have everyone hold him down because of how he whined over his broken nose. How is he going to be about this? Right?
He's a bitch.
If he can't hit old broken nose, you definitely can't with this.
Honestly, I love it so much, but I don't understand why you're being mean to your great-great-grandson so much. Again, my only hang-up, you've known this whole time this boy is a reincarnation of a son that you mistreated. Why not give him a little extra leeway?
I think it was less about that approach and more about him being a fatherly figure to Elspeth, and this is the guy that's trying to impress your daughter. And he's not good enough, but you've kind of, you know what, he actually probably is, and you're just kind of bantering with him.
Your son isn't good enough for your daughter. That makes sense to me. I'm on board with that. But somehow there's not banjos going in the background. I fucking love this.
It is a little odd.
It's a little gross.
No, it's not. It's been 500 years.
I really want to bang this girl that my grandpa's mind has been in this whole time. That he helped raise.
No.
You.
Jesper uses her new magic to save Raven, and she got Tilly's magic. With no evidence, he was just like, we got one chance. I'm pretty sure you got Tilly's magic. Come over here.
Well, I think he can see magic. That's why he can see the cards and everything else. He seems unsurprised by everybody's nonsense.
Oh, I like that. Emery is alive. Mentioned using the new card because I think it cuts to like he's awake and we're having this Frodo moment in my head, the Lord of the Rings. Have you
Lord of the Wings.
The Lord of the Wings. Have you seen it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I know that we bought all of these movies at one time because you're actually the Lord of the Rings person in our house. And I watched part of them with you and I kept falling asleep because they're very long.
I'm going to show you. It's 1 minute and 25 seconds. It's labeled Frodo waking up on YouTube. This is what I imagine Raven waking up to 2 days later. Okay, that video.
Is this actually the movie?
No, that video has a voiceover of somebody making up sounds. It's not that one.
Honestly, I love that. If that was what you were imagining, you were like, Raven. That would be so good. Oh, man.
It's, I think, the one below it, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, The Fellowship Reunited video.
The bed's just big enough for all of them.
And he says all of their names until you get to Orlando Bloom.
And then he doesn't say it?
Look. he kind of looks at him like, oh yeah, that guy. It says,
Wait, what's that guy's name?
I don't remember his name, but he mouthed it.
The set design of that movie looks wonderful. That specific scene, I think I would have fallen asleep if I were watching that movie during that scene.
Yeah, it's definitely the end of the end.
Oh, that's the end of the movie?
I'm pretty sure that's the end.
Is that the finale of all of them, or is it just like, oh, end of the first movie, we've done this?
This is for The Return of the King.
I don't know which one that is.
Me either.
The Two Towers was the second one.
I think it is the last one of the first trilogy.
Holy fuck, there's several trilogies?
There's prequels.
Wait, what?
Then you have The Hobbit, and that's also within this.
The Hobbit was the first book, right?
Yeah.
Because I think I remember reading the first book.
I don't know. But that's how I imagined this whole scene, was that cheesy, like everyone's walking in and it's just really corny and slow-mo. No, that was from the voiceover.
I honestly think the voiceover was more exciting.
It was really funny.
The set design, though, was great in that movie. If you haven't seen that, check out this little hole-in-the-wall book movie called Lord of the Rings.
If you've heard of it.
Yeah, you know, lots of people don't know about it yet.
The Nightmare says the 12 cards are gone, but the rest will still work, and gave the last...
Wait, what? The 12 cards are gone. Oh, those specific 12 cards.
Yep.
There's still a nightmare card. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
There was only one nightmare card to begin with.
There were two.
But only one was functional, right?
What do you mean?
Elspeth absorbed the nightmare card. Oh, no, it still worked for that guy.
It still worked.
God damn.
For Lyndon, yeah, when he had it. And that was the card that was used to get rid of the mist. The other one, the nightmare, gives that card to Raven. And then they go back to the stone with two twisted crowns on it. The nightmare said the new card won't heal Elspeth. We've talked about that because she absorbs carbs.
She absorbs carbs. Yeah, her ass getting fat.
Raven must destroy the nightmare.
Raven's giving her bread. She absorbs carbs. Keep giving it to her. I want to see where this goes.
Raven must destroy the nightmare card to release his soul. And the nightmare wasn't ready to leave her until now. I thought this scene was cute because he was just like, wait a minute, you've known this whole time? He's like, well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't ready to go, so I didn't tell you. I thought it was funny.
I agree. I think it was
irritated
good.
You.
Well, I think it's pertinent information, to be honest.
You don't like it when people withhold information.
I really don't. Lies of omission are still lies.
And Raven is getting ready to rip the card. He's like, do you want to say goodbye? And he's like, to you, stupid bird? He's like, no, to Elspeth.
He's like, I've been talking with her the whole time.
And then he gives his goodbye.
It was a very sweet goodbye.
Yeah, they said a poem, and he was hoping crossing the veil would be like leaving the card when she absorbed it. The borders are now open. You weren't happy with only that much information about the borders. And anyone can use the new Shepherd card, and there's no degeneration from it.
Well, yeah, but Elm specifically allows certain people to use it. He maintains control of it.
And he's the new king. They have a wedding. Peter and Jesper are flirty with some flowers, and that's kind of it.
Okay. How stoked are you that we didn't get a real raunchy sex scene in this book?
I think I was pretty happy with that, yeah.
I think it really checked all the boxes you still need it, because you had this emotional intensity between Elm and Ione.
Yes.
And do you think that after they murdered his brother, there was just a little bit of Marvin Gaye going on in the background?
I don't know what song that would be.
First of all, anything ever Marvin Gaye has sang would work just fine. We could go Al Green, but here.
Is it like a romantic song?
It's like a romantic song. I know it's a little sharp for you. They're in the trees. Imagine this.
This is a very sexual song. Which song exactly is this by him?
Just wait. We're getting there.
Oh my God, I know this song. I feel dumb not catching it until the sexual healing part.
Would you like to guess the name of that song?
Is it Sexual Healing?
It is. Yeah. I wanted the payoff of when it hit you what we were listening to. That's the song that I imagine they were singing.
I love it.
Honestly, it would work for Peter and
Jesper
too, because Jesper has a healing power.
She does.
Yeah. I think that's wonderful.
And it's Peter singing it to her now that she can heal. He's like, you know what type of healing I need?
Sexual healing. I fucking love that so much.
You've been avoiding it. What is your rating?
Oh, it's way better than you think it's going to be.
What is it?
I'm going to say this was like a 4 point. I'm going to say this is like a 4.32.
Whoa, that is much higher than I thought you were going to give it. That's a great book in your...
It really, truly was.
Yeah.
So, spoiler, I read Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first book, this week also, because I finished this book a little early. And I was like, oh, I'll start Dungeon Crawler Carl. Dungeon Crawler Carl is a 4.75 for me.
Wow.
I thought it would tank this book's rating. Other than purely out of enjoyment, this book was a full-on 3.85 to 4.0. The way that Elm and Ione's story went was 5 stars to me.
Agreed. I loved it.
So those two would average out to about a 4.5. Only thing that takes it down a little bit is The Nightmare omitted some nonsense that I don't like it. I understand the utility behind it. I don't think it needs to change, but it does take some of my trust away from that character.
You haven't forgiven him for it?
No, I don't like lying. I truly think it's the most absurd thing you can do, and especially as me as a reader. Like, I don't need to not believe that character. Now I have an unreliable narrator.
Okay, I see it. But do you think that's what Elspeth wanted? I know she wanted it in the first book, but by the time that we learned of Raven's magic...
I think she would have liked to have known what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
And I think she asked that question while in his mind. I think he protected so many of these secrets so heavily that it was kind of unnecessary. She specifically asked about that boy.
Fair. What was your rating again?
I don't remember. I think it was like a 4.45 or something. 4.38, somewhere.
I think it was in the 3.
No,
the point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I'm going to say, then it would be like a 4.38. It's really right at like a 4.4, almost a 4.5.
Okay, so if mine is 5 stars, 4.9. I don't know.
That's not how averages work.
No. I meant mine is like that.
Yours is a 4.9 now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's just, for simple math, go 4.4 to 4.5. Where do we land at, Adri?
Are we together combined a 4.7?
Right in there.
All right.
4.75.
I think that's good. I'm okay with that. It's going to hurt a lot one day if you have a 3-star and I have a 5-star.
I mean, it's 4.65, technically.
Okay.
Is our middle ground. But yeah, we can run a 4.7. Honestly, I won't even be hurt with a 4.75. I truly think this was probably one of my favorites. I would say it was not smutty at all. The sexiness involved in it was all so realistic in a way.
Yeah, I would agree.
I liked the way that he yearned, and it wasn't all about, I don't know, it didn't get real in depth, which I think served it well. Because now I'm imagining like they're going to have some babies, but they're going to love the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's not just for the sake of like, oh, she gives the world's greatest blowjobs, which is what we get so much in these books. And he's got the world's biggest wiener. It's really an emotional attraction.
Especially the pain that you can feel with him when he was having to watch her die and watch, like, he constantly suffered in that way.
Yeah, and again, even so much of like, okay, yeah, so the suffering seemed legit, but the yearning wasn't solely based off of what she looked like.
Yeah.
He admired her whimsical nature so much. That's where his attraction started. I love that.
I also like that he would mess with her just to get a reaction out of her, to see if he could get her to react through the mating card. Like, even the mating card couldn't contain it.
To me, it's so much like when your spouse is kind of grumpy and you push their buttons a little bit to see if you can push them through it.
Yeah, you were trying to give this as advice the other day. You're like, well, if you irritate you just a little bit further, they eventually come around. I'm like, Ryan, no.
Well, they do. You don't be hurtful about it, but it works. Sometimes you're real poopy pants, and the best way that I can make you not so poopy pants is to allow you to keep pooping your pants.
What? This is terrible.
I add my shit to your pants, and eventually you take the poopy pants off because you're like, well, these pants are filled with shit. We gotta quit dealing with this. And that's kind of what it is. You do it with me too sometimes.
Do I?
Yeah, you do. When I'm grumpy, you're like, okay, well, I don't know why you're being such an asshole. You're feeling grumpy today? Okay, well, why don't you just be grumpy all by yourself? And you know that will kill me. And you're like, ah.
We were talking to your sister last night, and it was so funny how similar you two are. with dealing with issues or like
We both have real abandonment trauma.
yeah, because you're
We
both like, I can't let you go until the conversation is resolved. And both me and her husband like to say, I need some space to work through my feelings.
Look how good I'm doing at this.
You're doing
So
great.
many years in. It took me so many years to learn.
It was just really funny how you both want to push until it's resolved.
Yeah, because we assume that you quit loving us the minute you're angry. You and her husband have this unbelievable confidence that it seems to be true, but even when somebody's upset with you, they don't stop loving you. You guys clearly grew up in homes where you felt more unconditional love. We felt as though ours had to consistently be earned. Trauma.
Oh, yes. I don't know. It could also just be seeing how our daughter is starting to be a little more similar of like, I want to resolve this and work through this because if I don't, it gets worse.
Could just be neurotic.
Yeah, it might not be abandonment.
I don't know. Maybe I've given it to her. Generational trauma.
Yeah. That is a thing in psychology that one generation, the impacts of that will carry on through other generations.
Yeah, they can inherit it.
You can also see it in the cells, like the eggs and whatnot. Like a mother's trauma will carry on to her infant. And because girls are born with all of your eggs, like it continues on. I can't remember the type of science that is. I don't remember, but it is fascinating.
It's this weird crossover between human and chicken science, where they study the eggs.
Which came first?
Which came first, the chicken or the woman? Who knows? The chicken didn't look disappointed. Anyway.
What the fuck?
I'm just waiting for that to happen. Oh, we're good. Don't fuck chickens.
What? Oh my God, stop it.
PSAs.
I don't think we need a PSA on that. That's just a given.
Well, okay. You'd think so, but look at what some people are doing. It's only a matter of time before the Republicans.
No. Let's talk about what we're going to read next. So next we are reading...
Throne of Broken Glass.
No. That sounds like Broken Dreams.
Song. Yeah. Boulevard of Broken Dreams, Throne of Broken Glass. What is it? Throne of Glass?
Just Throne of Glass, yes.
Well, it seems like a shitty thing to build a throne out of. You can't bear acid at all on that bad boy. Imagine trying to get those streaks out. Windex won't help you there. Or, alternatively, next episode is on Dungeon Crawler Carl.
That would be nice, but it would have to have a different name.
It won't work for Grandma's Smut Corner episode.
No.
There is no smut in it.
No. Unless I read one of Grandma's books.
I actually want you to read Dungeon Crawler Carl with me.
Okay.
I want you to listen to it. You don't need to take notes. I want you to just listen beginning to end.
Okay.
Of the first book. I bought the second one already and I've started it.
Okay.
And then I want to do an episode where it has nothing to do with our smutty stuff. It's just a
review and discussion about that one.
Yeah, it can just be Ryan's nonsense books.
Okay,
I'm fine with whatever you want to call it. So I don't want to mislead anybody. The Dungeon Crawler Carl episode will not be smutty. It is not a smutty book, but if I can make a suggestion, please read it. It's the first book that I've read that I've enjoyed more than Legends and Lattes since we started this.
Ooh, nice.
It's so fun. It's the dumbest book, but it's so fun. It's as dumb as Ice Planet Barbarians, but without the blue dicks.
Okay.
Also, I think it's a specific genre book that I've never read before.
Yeah, I think it's video game style. Is that right?
It kind of comes off that way. Yeah, it's amazing. It's weird. It's kind of like the world kind of turns into a big video game for aliens' enjoyment and entertainment. It'd be like if you got stuck into Fortnite. Like if aliens came down and the world turned into Fortnite, but it's obviously more nuanced than that. It's fucking wild.
That sounds really cool.
It's so nifty. I really like it a lot. Give me who's your favorite character?
Ione.
Second favorite character?
Elm.
Third favorite character?
Nightmare.
Well, our top three match.
Yes.
Is it weird that neither one of us picked Raven or Elspeth?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's weird.
Do we kind of feel like they became secondary characters in this book?
Yes. That's where I was mentioning that it feels like this book is its own thing set in the same world with the same conflicts, but it's like its own thing.
I would agree. I really liked this book a lot. Did the way this book ended influence how much you liked the other book?
One Dark Window?
Yep.
I don't even remember the ending of One Dark Window because it moved into this one so smoothly. What was the ending of the last book?
Elspeth Hoth and Elspeth Steele.
Right. I think I liked the last ending because it was just more violent and getting to finally see the nightmare.
I also read The Priory of the Orange Tree.
Oh.
That was a long book.
I'm really jealous. I wanted to read that.
Well, you still can.
I don't have the time.
Well, you don't have to make notes. Just do it for yourself one day. Start listening to it when you have other shit going on and you can just kind of passively listen, and then listen again because you actually have to pay attention to understand what the fuck is happening in that book. That was probably a great book that I did not like even a little bit. But if you like this book, you will like Priory of the Orange Tree. It moves in sort of a similar way. It's just a much longer, more storylines kind of coming together. But it's a very similar story.
It's highly recommended if you like this genre.
I can see where, specifically with the last 2 books we've read, there's a lot of parallels.
I think it was a good set of chapters, good set of books.
These were great books. I really enjoyed these chapters. I'm sorry I don't have more to say about it. It was good.
No, I think it's good. We went through a lot.
We did.
I love you.
I love you.
You're my bestie.
You're my bestie. Open your legs and close your books. It's over.
No.
Thank you guys for supporting us. It's been a good time. If you'd like more,
follow us here, TikTok or Instagram. Fable, if you want to join our book club. Patreon, if you want episodes early.
Drop it on Tuesdays if you're into that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. Episodes are releasing on Tuesdays. If there's a 2-parter, it's going to be on Thursdays.
We accept 5-star reviews and nothing less. If you leave something less, you're a motherfucker.
No!
Oh.
Honest reviews.
Not that honest. Only leave a review if you're willing to be a 5-star honest person. Should we come up with something mean to say to him on the way out? I kind of want to pick on him.
No, I won't say love you. Bye.
Oh, you can tell him that you love him.
Okay.
I won't.
Love you guys before Ryan bullies you out of here.
I'm fine with most of you. I love you, bye. Close your legs and open your books. Open your legs and close your books. I'm gonna read it. We gonna read books. Close your legs and open your book. I want to learn to read. Open your legs and close your book. I'm tired of reading.
No.
That should be the end of the podcast. All right, close the book. Open your legs. It's time to quit reading. Podcast is over. Close your book. Open your legs. No. As you were.
No.
You know how we all walk around just spread out.
No.
Put your pants on, Edith. It's time to read a book.